Hey everyone, welcome to Collector Chatter. Fun Days is over and we cannot wait to talk about it. But guess what? Robert Downey Jr. is Doctor Doom, and we definitely going to talk about that.
Let's go. Collecting is the way.
Now let's.
Hey everyone, welcome to Collector Chatter episode 106. I'm your host Migs, here with my co-host Charlie and Trey, as always, and we are obviously very pumped, as you can tell, with the intro this time around, because we're going to talk about SDCC, of course, because Fun Days happened, and we're going to talk about the event. And obviously, we weren't there, but everything that we saw, whether it was the event itself, the boxes that they were giving out, some of the boxes have been coming for the at home as well. So we're going to talk about some of the like pictures that we've seen of those, and hopefully what's to come. Of course, Marvel kind of took over, Hall H and
Yeah.
San Diego Comic-Con in general with some crazy news, which we're going to talk about as well, because we're Marvel fans. So even though it's gonna definitely affect the collecting world, I'm sure. Anyway, so we'll definitely talk about that and maybe some other stuff as well. But we'll start off, I say, with the San Diego stuff, just because that's obviously the forefront thing for us when it comes to Funko and what we for sure love talking about. We spoke about it before, kind of an idea of the event. We spoke about kind of potentially what was going to be in boxes, et cetera, et cetera. But now we got some more like actual official, pictures and videos and stuff. But overall, I mean, what do you guys think of the event for what you saw? At least, the Fun Days portion, which was 2 days this time, which was
Yeah.
interesting, Friday and Saturday. Probably not a smart move on Funko's end when we started talking about some other stuff, but I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah. I mean, right off the bat, it's the first year in a long time since you've been able to have the box at home and fun days. Like, I don't really have FOMO, which I'm shocked to say. Especially when they announced the theme. I thought fun days this year looked pretty weak. I'm not that excited. It's always awesome to get Freddy's, but like last year, we were like losing our mind over these Freddy's. I remember the leak list is coming out. We were texting each other like, "Oh my God, I cannot believe they're making this. I can't believe this. I want this." There's nothing that like need to have. Like, there's a lot of things that are cool and I would like to have, but nothing that I'm like, "Oh my God, I have to have." There's a few, and I especially know for you, Trey, there's probably some you need to have. But for me, I think they missed out on a lot of fandoms this year. They totally, and I know we've said it, especially I was really going like they should have more pirate stuff. And you guys were all like, that doesn't matter. It's just the theme. I mean, that totally played out for the most part. They did not take advantage of that. I even think one of the pieces that they gave out was an afterthought. They sprayed some extra one piece pops into gold because it's in a normal one piece box actually. I don't know if you noticed that. It's not
Yeah.
even in a Fun Days box. Like, I don't know. It just we get into more detail. My first take is I thought it was one of the weaker ones, especially for Mike's last Fun Days.
Yeah. I kind of agree. I know last year, like you said, we were texting each other like, "Hey, Captain America's gonna be in this box," like a few other things. And then once we start getting the boxes in, which is kind of weird because last year I remember the boxes went out a week or maybe 2 weeks before SDCC.
Yeah.
So when the boxes started showing up, it was literally either the week of Fun Days or the week after. So
Mhm.
it was a little weird because getting close to it, probably what when I went live here, we didn't hear anything until
No.
literally the next day. That's where, okay, they're gonna have the raffle, they're gonna have this, but we still didn't know what was gonna be in the boxes. Then the Gasolcast said, "Oh, this is what's going to be in every box," but then that ended up not being true. I mean, granted, the pops are what they are. They were
Yep.
in some boxes or at the actual event,
Yeah.
which I'm not going to lie, the shredders are definitely on my list. Not the
Yes.
black light because that is expensive right now. But yeah, other than, I mean, some of the home ones we're starting to get more pictures, and some of them are good, some of them are okay, some of them are not in what I like, but yeah, I do agree. It's not what it was last year, and I think even the year before. The year
Yeah.
before was way better than last year, but this year is definitely one that I can remember. Like, this is not something I need to have. The FOMO for me is I can care less.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty on par with you guys. The event itself, because I did want to kind of mention that, it did seem a little like it's just like in a, conference room of a hotel. It's really
Yeah,
small. They're all sitting, you're just sitting in your little section in the corner. I mean, it does seem like it was pretty limited. So obviously it was like probably a hard ticket, which based off of some people posting, like was a crazy price to get
yeah,
into this damn place. And obviously, I'm sure being there, the experience will make it a little better because you're there, you're excited, you get to
of
see
course.
Mike, you see the games and things.
I wouldn't
They're
say
handing
no to
out,
going.
yeah, of course, they're handing out protos, which every got one, which was actually kind of a cool thing. So each person got a box and they got a proto. One thing I did want to say that we did not really leak or talk about at any point was that the boxes were going to have three pops
Yep.
in the ones in the show versus like the two that we're getting at home, and everything else is essentially the same, but they didn't put like the mascots in there. It looks like the mascots were just given out to the team separately so that they could put this. I think I said this, I don't know if I said this to both of you guys. I think I definitely said it to Charlie, but this kind of was a like when we first saw that leak that Funko dropped that the box was going to have three pops. That's clearly probably why, because like
Totally
they did have a box that had three pops. So I mean, that's like obviously something I'm okay with, in the fact that like you're at the show, you should get something a little bit different, you
agreed.
should get something more special. Of course, the pops are always different, not always different, but they're a little bit more rare, right?
Limited.
You're getting,
Yeah.
yeah, the 500. There's a 50 piece out there somewhere, which is
There's a
pretty
few,
wild.
yeah,
Yeah,
crazy.
so when it comes to like the piece counts and the rarity, and even some of like
There was even that proto that's one of one.
oh yeah, the one they whoever won that like thing.
Yeah.
So that part of it's like pretty cool. I think what we all kind of are in agreement on is like the actual characters and what they chose and the molds maybe aren't like the best, but it's like so hard to say like that you're gonna love everything, because there might be someone who's like a hardcore, like Chris from Gas. He's a hardcore
Transformers.
Transformers fan, right? So like that Transformers one, I could care less. But he's like bugging about it. Like the only jazz that I'm excited for is the new Yankee, not the freaking Transformers. So um so basically like he's super hyped about that, but like we aren't, right? So, but then there's a shredder pop, which we all kind of like, but obviously we know Trey's
Yeah,
foaming at the
Yeah.
mouth for that.
Oh
And
yeah, for
there's
sure.
very yeah, and there's different versions of it, whatever. So I understand how I can kind of hit everyone, but yeah, I agree. Overall, I feel like other ones there was a lot where the masses were like, "This is sick," or "Oh my God, they made him as this." And then the one thing no one said yet, and I think is obviously a crazy miss, is that we didn't get any Frannies.
I
There's
want to see.
literally
Yep,
not a single Franny in any of these boxes, which I'm assuming the home ones either, because so far there hasn't been any. It makes no sense that one would come out. So, like Proto and Freddy are still a thing, obviously, because they're part of the Wobblers together, the sodas, you get one or the other. Now you get her technically in the biddies. Oh no, you don't. The
you
biddies, it wasn't
don't.
even that. No, the biddies
No,
that they actually have is the mascots. That's true. It was San Diego Comic Con like biddies that they had.
I'm happy you
Her
brought
in.
that up. That's a huge miss. We talked like Franny has to be in here. They introduced her at freaking Chicago. And
Yeah.
then this
Yeah.
time the pop was so limited you can only get it at the show. But I'm like, come on. That's like another thing. It's like I feel like some of these Freddies this year were pops that were like didn't sell. So they just popped the Freddy head on, which I know is what you do, but like it didn't always feel like shelf warmers. But like, come on, you like it shouldn't have been that hard to make a Franny. I'm happy you brought that up, Migs. That is such a huge miss. I mean, she was in the logo. She has absolutely no representation in the pops besides,
Yeah,
you're
it's
right,
just really
that
odd.
one biddy that they must have given. It's just funny. No one's really talking about a lot of this stuff this year, I feel like, either. I'm assuming that biddy that had her, Proto, Mike, and Freddie was just given out to people at the show, like for a raffle.
Yeah, because you couldn't buy that. The one you could buy
You
was
couldn't
just the
buy that.
regular version of
Yeah.
them, like the flight
Because their
attendant.
boxes seem to have the mascots as biddies, but they were metallic, where the at home are just
Yeah,
normal.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not sure, but I mean, I did want to kind of go over some pops that we thought were
Of course.
were pretty cool. We'll start with just this show, and then we can talk about like kind of what's already leaked and stuff coming for at home. But yeah, show obviously we had some pretty cool ones out there. I mean, the Hook one, even though that was one of the ones we saw a super long time ago, was definitely still one of the better ones,
Agreed.
honestly. For like a cool mold. I think the Elvis one is pretty cool, honestly. Like you're a big fan, it's an interesting one, and it's him with his eyes closed. So like I like when it's like a little bit of a variation or somewhat different, and that one kind of is unique. One of the big ones everyone was like going crazy about was the Captain Planet one, glow in the dark. That's whatever to me. Obviously, the Shredder. There was two, right? There's a regular one and the black light.
Yes, there is a
Yeah,
black light and then the regular that glows in the dark, which is 500 pieces, and then the black light is 100.
100 pieces. Yeah, and then they did do some old school like DC stuff. So like the Penguin,
Yeah.
which is old character. That one, I'm obviously a big fan of that one. And then I think I saw a Batman Beyond one that just
Yep.
like
Yeah.
that was at the show, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, not many people because there wasn't too many of them posted, but there was like a 900 piece, I think. And that one's pretty sick because I'm obviously a fan of that. But like that's kind of what stuck out for me. Obviously, like Charlie mentioned, there was a random Goldie Roger pop that was thrown in the mix, which wasn't a Freddy. It was all gold. It didn't have the Fantastic Voyage box. Like it was very weird. That just to me was kind of very random. But I mean, we saw some people getting like 10 of them, so
Yeah,
they
gotta
were
get
all
their
over that thing.
gold. Gotta get me gold. My
But
loot.
I don't know. What do you think?
I
What was
mean,
some like top stuff for you at
top
the show?
my top tier one is hands down Shredder. I don't think anything touches that. I then would say Captain Hook. I mean, even though I like the box one that's coming home better, the one where he is holding Tinkerbell and the barrel is cool. Um, and then I think I liked the Billy, the Blue Ranger.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And like
Yeah.
once again, like I said this earlier, like I just love collecting Freddy's. It doesn't always need to be my fandoms, but like no Marvel, no Star Wars this year. The only Disney one is Hook. I still think it's ridiculous that there wasn't a Freddy One Piece. Like this was the time to make one out of
Yeah.
any character. Um, I mean, those really,
Yeah.
and like I don't get excited over like glow or metallic. Like I just don't. I mean, we've said this a million times. I think that's like coming out of this, that's what a lot of people are saying was so great about the pops there. Was like the glows are sick. Yeah,
Oh,
cool. But I guess the one thing I do like that they did was I still wish you can only get stuff at home and can only get stuff at the show, I think character wise. But this year they at least made the ones at the show. Those were the metallics, the black lights, the glows. Where at home, we're not going to get any of that. So at least they did that. But like those were the big standouts for me. Like nothing was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I
Yeah.
think I'm just sour because it doesn't really cover many of my fandoms. Shredder's probably like the only one.
Yeah. Definitely for me, Shredder is by far the best. Um, the black light, obviously. I do like the black light stuff, don't get me wrong. Obviously now the black light is the new chrome, but since this one is a Freddy Funko, it's a little bit different and it's Ninja Turtles, there's not
Of
other than
course.
the Casey Jones, there's not any other thing that's black light. And other than the sodas. The only other one other than the shredders, um, which you talked about, which is the Billy from Power Rangers. And then the other one that I like, honestly, was the Freddy as Hogwarts, the Harry Potter one.
That one is cool.
I do like that one. There's not anything really of Freddy as any Harry Potter, to be honest, which is kind of cool. It's different. There's obviously plenty of Freddy's as in DC, Marvel, Rangers, Ninja Turtles. There's not. This is like the first of Harry Potter, I believe, other than the NFTs, right?
There was a Ron one from last year, where he was playing
Oh,
Quidditch,
yeah,
I
that's
think.
right. That's
But
right.
yeah,
it
That's
yeah,
right.
is
yeah.
funny. I did just think of two pops I actually am excited for, which I don't know why I didn't mention those. I want the Ken one from
Oh yeah,
Barbie. And
that's one of the first ones.
I did like the
What was
Frodo.
that at home or was that there?
I've seen it in both. I think at home
Okay,
is
yeah, the
normal. They
Frodo
get
one too.
metallic. I like now I'm like getting more. I'm
Well,
forgetting there was a
there's
lot of
another
different.
one that I think you would like too that you forgot. I'm about to say, and there's another one I think Trey forgot too. So the one I think that we all would like is there's a Pirate Freddy, which is actually pretty cool.
That
So there
is.
was a Pirate Freddy with the big pirate hat and everything, which
But I
that
think
just makes
everyone
perfect
got
sense.
that who went to the show.
Oh,
Yeah. I
really? Okay.
Yeah, that's
Well,
where
no, is it number
think it's like
or
3,400
it's
pieces.
okay? Yeah, so it's like
like they
so
hook
maybe they all
people
got
up
one.
with
So that's
it.
pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that is
So
a
that's
cool
cool
one.
to have. And then the Roddy Piper.
That
Oh
one is
Coming
yeah,
cool
out
too.
there.
You're right. You're right.
that
Yeah.
would go good with my Freddy as Stone Cold.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they both got their chest out. So that's that was a pretty cool one.
One
But
thing
yeah, I
that's
was
weird about
the
the
Harry
Harry
Potter one is pretty cool.
that one is cool, but it's weird. It says Hogwarts student, which I'm sorry, it's Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
that is pretty crazy. But another thing too that I'm kind of noticing, or some of them, is now that we're starting to get more pictures for like the at home. I'm curious if we'll get like a normal shredder, not a glow shredder, or
Dude,
maybe just
we may.
that's what I'm thinking because some of these, I mean, the Captain Planet, I got it right this time. Captain Planet is
Hmm.
actually in the at home box. Some of these have been at home, so maybe we'll get a normal shredder. Maybe we'll get some of these others from the boxes that we haven't seen yet, like the Kraken and what's the other one? The parrots?
The
No,
parrot. Yeah, I don't think anyone's seen the
The
proto
Parrot and
pirates.
the Kraken, I think,
those
haven't
are
really
the
been
last two
open.
boxes. So maybe we'll get a little bit more, which would be cool. But yeah, I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah. It does look like the Goldie Roger was also limited like 3,400 pieces, so maybe that was something that everyone had a shot to
Got yeah.
grab as well, besides the Pirate one. And then there was also, I think, a Marty McFly
Yeah.
one,
Oh,
like a
yep.
metallic one or something that was out there
And
that
then the
was,
Mr. Freeze.
and Cavity Sam too.
I mean,
Oh
there's
yeah.
definitely a lot of cool ones. Like, maybe I need to backstep a little bit. It's just like even the year before, like you said, like they were just so amazing. We were like losing our minds. Like, I don't think any of us really lost our minds this year. And I feel like that's just like a miss on Funko. It shouldn't, I feel like this is very easy to every year to either get better or stay on par. And like I said, not that there's not sick ones that I want. They're just not like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm like, freaking out over it.
Hmm.
Yeah. I agree.
But they
I
treated
definitely.
people at the show more special this year than last year, which I guess is what it is all about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely seemed like it was, like I said, being there, I'm sure would have been still fun to enjoy the event. And of course, it's Mike's, last one from what we believe. So, being able to kind of have him there. And I know he was doing a lot of signings and stuff. Like he was doing a bunch of cool stuff like that. Clearly, they gave away a bunch of different protos. Like some looked, it's funny because sometimes you get a proto and you're like, what the hell is this thing? But there were some that were like clearly like you knew what it was, and that was pretty
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
It was
Somebody
like,
got all the Ninja Turtle protos from the
yeah,
new line.
which
I'm
is
like, what?
crazy.
That is insane.
Like a bunch of stuff. Even some soda protos out there were still being handed out too, which is kind of cool.
And
Uh
also, I don't know if y'all saw, there's also unreleased pops that
Yeah, the
Wasatch pop.
Lucifer ones were one
Well,
of
yeah,
them.
yeah, which was interesting that.
and Krusty the Clown from
Yep.
Simpsons.
Yep. Which that's actually pretty cool to see that. Like that
I
makes it
agree.
really like special. Like it's just the mold, but it never came to fruition. But
Huh.
and then the at home, we've so far, I think the first box we saw was the Blacklight box
Yep.
Yes.
with the like skeleton. That was the first one. And then we started getting some of like the shark, like some of those started coming home. I mean, I guess it's the process of like the raffle and how they announce the winners one at a time randomly. But the fact that these boxes are coming out one at a time and
So
super
dumb.
spread out is really
Yeah.
weird. Yeah, it's definitely very strange. I don't know if I like it or not, but it's not something that I would have assumed it would have done. But either way, we're starting to like randomly get these home. And of course, people get them in the West Coast for sure, like right away. So they're already posting pictures. Uh, some of the same pops are being seen, like at home versus online, or online versus at the show. However, there's like this like variants, like there's a penguin, but he's metallic versus the blacklight one was the one at the show. So like
Yeah.
there's clearly gonna be that. So maybe there is another shredder because it looks like that's like an option. But then we got some that I thought were pretty cool, like just completely different, like the Rugrats
Yeah.
That
Chucky one.
that is a cool one.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's
I
Chucky
agree.
one, but there's two that they've shown with the green and the purple Reptar.
The purple
Yeah.
was only at the show.
So that one was at the showcase. That's
Yep.
another one that was like 1 and 1. So maybe a lot of them are going to
Another
be
was
like
Rick and
versions of
Morty.
the show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Morty,
Come.
which I don't think anyone at the show got that or no one posted about it.
or the one
Yeah.
from Overwatch or whatever. I don't think anybody's
Yeah,
really.
I don't know. It's just weird.
A lot of
Just
random stuff,
yeah.
completely random. Like,
But yeah, like I'm
Yeah,
seeing now, you can get the Ken at home, but he's not metallic.
yeah, like
I
this
just
is some of them are weird, and it's weird too because we just talked about last week about Rick and Morty pops have not been pushed out as much, and then we get a
Yeah,
Friday this
right.
morning.
It's funny.
yeah. And then there's a Marvin and Marshall one. We forgot to talk about that one. That's one of the 50-piece ones
Wow,
Yep.
you're right.
from the show, which that's pretty wild.
It's hard to keep track of
Uh,
all these because it's all over the place. It's not like,
yeah, yeah, and they were all posted at random different times and everything. But like so far, the at-home ones don't seem to be wowing like as much. Like even if we overall were like, yeah, they weren't the greatest with all of these, but like at least some of the ones at the show were like, all right, that was pretty cool. Or that's pretty
yeah,
sick. Um, And so far, the at-home ones, I mean, again, it's only been two boxes from what we saw. I know one of the latest pictures had what was the one he just put up a couple like an Elvis box again. Oh, the a conductor, which is
yeah.
Conductor.
super
It's completely
random.
random. That's just a
And then
Freddy.
someone from like Masters Universe or something. So like that is not like a great looking box. So I think also having two instead of the three is gonna like limit it because if you get two, chances are if you had three, at least one of them you could probably really like. Now like you could probably get
Yeah,
two that are just like
Yeah.
super average
yeah,
and like I'm hoping not. But obviously we're gonna open up boxes for you guys when we get them. I mean, whenever we do get them because they have like which one did you win, Charlie?
I won the Blacklight Buccaneers, which was the
Oh,
first
did
one.
yours ship?
It's supposed to come tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So
nice.
and you got Trey, you didn't get the black, you got the bucklers, right?
I got the bucklers and then I got the crack.
Okay. So the Kraken, same thing. Neither of ours,
That
I think, has shipped.
yeah,
My my Parrots one, I think, was the third one that shipped, which is random because I think it was the first one that was announced as the winner. So it's like this
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
No.
That one, I don't think it has. Oh, it shipped, but I don't know when I'm supposed to get it. So I don't know. We'll see. But we're excited to open those up regardless. And hopefully there's some cool stuff in there. I mean, the rest of the box, like, we got to see the wobbler now. We kind of predicted that it'll potentially be something pirate related. And it is. You got a regular one here, and then at the show, it was just a metallic version. So nothing crazy. And then the sodas, kind of like what they've been doing all the time.
Yeah.
Like they'll take just a Freddy and change them in like 100 different colors or
Yeah.
whatever. It's doing the same thing with the Proto. So you got like a shot at getting one of them. Um, I mean, it's whatever. I don't like love it, but
They're
if
like
it's if
fine.
it's a cool like
Yeah.
Freddy, I'm sure it'd be fine to
Like I think the
have.
wobbler is cool, but it's fine. I am still shocked though that the biddies didn't end up being those ones we thought that they're the mascots, which I mean I think is kind of cool. I just wanted that Mike Biddy if I'm being honest.
yeah, that would have been
Yeah,
pretty cool.
that would have been better.
I know you don't care, but
Yeah, I wouldn't have.
Even if he would have been the wobbler, that would have been cool too.
Oh, the
yeah,
wobbler, yeah, that would have been awesome. They should have done that. I
I
mean,
think
there's a
I
lot of stuff
mean
they could have done.
a lot of stuff they could have done better. And maybe I don't know if both of you agree with me. I feel like Mike really pumped this up that it was his last, and I did think it was going to be something special, but it wasn't. It seems like it's more he just wanted you to feel that way.
Yeah,
Um,
I believe that because like we
which
talked
makes
about
sense.
off camera that Friday was obviously the day that everybody was hyped up for, and then the next day, nothing. I don't remember seeing any pictures of celebrities or any videos
No,
of
dude,
who
no
was.
one.
I don't remember seeing anything, and that's because I was on
Even
my
on
phone, like seeing anything.
even on Friday, I don't think they really had a
It
lot
was
of
Yeah,
it was
people
the
or
weakest
anything.
I've ever seen it on
Like
yeah,
it
social.
was like it was
yeah.
definitely
I agree because usually they'll post
interesting.
like, "Oh, dang, somebody's here." Even Corey Feldman's usually always there, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
It was
Or even
fluffy.
like even yeah. Even the not even fun days, just like San Diego Comic Con in general, even that seemed like the Funko booth and everything. Like right before everyone was like hyping it up when they were building it and they were putting it together, and that you
Yep.
can get protos here, you can do whatever. And then I feel like because we follow a lot of people that obviously were there, that I feel like it was just kind of like people got their pops whatever they wanted, and that was it. Like they didn't like at
Yeah,
NYCC, they were like out there. They had the mascots. Remember, they were like
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about on like one of those little platforms. Like, it didn't seem like they did anything like that. And then obviously they had the Fun Days show, but even the Fun Days seemed like, I don't know. Well, I don't want to hate on it because, obviously we weren't there, like I
Yeah,
said, but
totally.
it was interesting. It was sure if you were there and you got to see him, it probably would have been cooler, knowing that that was probably the last time you were going to see Mike doing something like this. Like, again, we don't know what he's going to really do. If we're going to see him as much anymore. But when it comes to Funko, I mean, it kind of transitions into what I wanted to just at least mention is like, do you guys think like events are over now? Like, because the CEO was there, or at least was somewhere
Yep.
at Comic-Con. I don't know if she was at Fun Days, but she did take a picture with Mike and was like, I don't know. To me, she doesn't seem like she fits in. It's just awkward, but I don't know like what's gonna happen because like we talked about, there's not like an actual official person who's taking over for Mike. They haven't said anything. He hasn't passed the torch. It's just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna go do my own thing and peace, good luck. And Funko's not really like talking about that.
I have a weird prediction. I think
Well,
Top Pops might become like a face of Funko.
I agree.
He
I
took a
can see
picture
he was
it.
with
there.
her.
He
He
was
took a
there.
picture with her.
He was
She made a
there.
point to see him. I don't think that was just a random encounter.
Yeah.
They have let him do more stuff. He gets total priority at the cons, which I mean he's earned it.
Yeah.
He kind of I feel like you either like Top Pops or not. I think we all lean on liking him, but kind of has like a Mike vibe a little bit. Like I could see him do. I mean,
Yeah, he's
how do I
definitely a
say how do I say
personality, and he's
this?
very
Yeah,
good in front of
like
the camera. He
and
could,
He
maybe that's
really does love Funko. Like
he
he
does.
loves it. Like even the most lamest Funko product, right? He loves it. He loves everything Funko. And I believe, like I mentioned last time, that people like that, somebody like him, I don't believe all these other influencers or whatever you want to call them. I don't believe them. I believe him, even though I know like some of the products, I'm like, that's kind of lame. But I
Mhm.
actually, when I watch his stuff, I'm like, dang, I believe I'm like one of the little kids that watch him. I'm like amazed, like, dang, why am I
Completely agree with
believing
you.
this? So I agree with that. I can see that happening.
Also, I don't know how old Tristan is, but he's
In his
definitely at
20s,
yeah,
early 20s.
he's definitely at a point where like if they offered him a job,
Oh yeah.
he could take it.
You think he'd take his mom too? I'm just
could.
saying she's also a face.
Well,
She is a
but
face.
but but she was because he was a child. I think he's older now that he doesn't
But
necessarily have to like. But
everybody
yeah,
wants to,
yeah, everyone even knows his brother. Like,
Yeah, and
yeah.
I
yeah.
don't know if it's an official standpoint, but like I actually, and to go back to your question, Migs, I have now seen how this fun days went. I still think they're gonna do them because it doesn't seem like it really matters that Mike is there or not there.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like an event, give
It's
stuff
just an
out and
event. And like I said,
whatever.
Top Pops could do his own
I think so.
version of what
I
Mike
think so.
does.
I agree. I completely agree. I can see that because he's obviously in his videos, like he does dress up. He does
Yeah.
very animated, very believable, very likable, depending on who you're
Yeah.
asking.
Got
So
one thing though, maybe a little curveball. He's Canadian and he lives in Canada, so he might have to move to the US if that was really like,
Yeah,
I would think.
I thought about that when you said that. That is definitely a thing. But
But I think it'd be perfect. No, I 100%. I
yeah,
mean, we've mentioned that before. Like we've
yeah,
said like
he's the
that they
only
need.
person who doesn't come across as a shill, like Trey said too.
Yeah.
There's
yeah,
even creators I like who I see at the cons now making videos for them. And like ever since they started actually officially partnering with Funko, I don't like them anymore, which is interesting. Like I don't know if
yeah.
you follow anyone like that, but I'm like, they were great content creators. Now they're in Funko's, back pocket, and their content, in my opinion, is just like garbage.
Very cringe, bunch
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
jabronis that
Yeah.
shouldn't be. Yeah, I completely agree, and we all know which jabroni I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Um,
But
you
it's
know, posting pictures all the time. I definitely agree because I mean there were some. I mean, me and you, Charlie, have talked about some, and I've seen some. I'm just like, you used to be good, and now it's like you sold out. And it's
Yeah.
not believable anymore. It's Like not
Yeah.
everything is great. Yes, obviously you want the sponsorship or whatever, you want to be partnered, whatever, I get it. But at the same time, you still have to be who you are. That's how you got your fan base to begin with. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see if he's kind of, I mean, it does seem like he's already taking a bigger role because they are
Yeah.
using him a lot and they talk to him a lot. And like I was gonna say, we said it a while ago when we were like, I think this was even when maybe it was when Brian left and that other guy took over, and we were like, well, CEO doesn't need to be the face. We just need more young people that need to start using YouTubers and things like that. Like we did mention that. Like,
We did.
and I believe we do believe in that. I think it's just the way they did it wasn't the best. But Top House was always someone that we were like, hey, look, like this guy has clearly made you guys tons of money, and he's got a ridiculous following. It's clearly the biggest channel, and it just would make sense. And he is authentic and genuine, and like it just comes from a good place. You could tell. But I did want to talk about it real quick. There was a post. So Distrackers did post something that said like, "Who do you think is going to replace Mike at Fun Days, other future social events, or whatever?" And people kind of going like back and forth, and some people are saying like nobody or no one's ever going to be like Mike. It's interesting that girl Ashley, who was part of like the whole social media team, posted specifically and was like, Mike is Funko. It won't ever be the same. He has the vision, heart, soul, and didn't want anything in return. These other names are laughable as they're just wanting to self promote. So clearly,
Wow.
yeah.
Let's go.
So clearly there are people that are being brought up or people or whatever. And like clearly there is like what Charlie was saying, like there might be faces of Funko in terms of YouTubers or social media and Instagram and stuff that maybe are trying to step into this role, and it just doesn't seem like it's as genuine. People are even saying hire back Sully. Like it's funny. So it's
I'm
like
seeing
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
clearly, like for the most part, a lot of people are saying like no one's ever going to be able to do that. No one's ever going to be able to be Mike. And if I'm being honest, like if it's not Top Pops, let's say, or even Sully for that matter, because he's obviously done this, I don't think they should put anybody. I think it should just be something that they put at the event. It is what it is. We don't need like a fake person jumping in to try to be
Yeah.
him and mimic it because it's just gonna not work. I think the only people that would make sense is like a Top Ops, but besides that, I don't think they really. But again, even if they don't do it for events and they get like some like him being part of like the social media side of things, I think it could also still work. It doesn't mean he has to be like this face at Fun Days anymore. Like I think Funko will still be able to do Fun Days without that. But we need something like some kind of life behind the social media stuff and the marketing and the way that they
Agreed.
kind of put out stuff. I think that would be what they needed.
Crazy idea. What if they hired people to become real life versions of like Freddie and Franny? Think like Migs, like Blippy, but
Oh
for
my
Funko.
God.
And like Freddie and Franny became like Pete,
But
like
it's like an actor that
like
actually
an
did it.
actor that did it. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that could, in a weird way, work. I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe. It'd probably be a little cringe and
It would,
cheesy
but
for a little while, but
it like there's some I know we joke about the cringe, but like when it was Mike, now thinking back on it, like I'm gonna miss the cringe with him. Like it just was part of his brand. It's
That's
different
who
than
he
seeing an
is.
influencer be cringy.
yeah.
I agree.
No. Yeah, I mean, I agree. And I even said it to you. I was like, I think the cringe thing kind of happened more recently.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, he was always kind of out there and whatever, but I feel like when it like as he got older and he clearly didn't fit in with like the millennial and the younger, like like you
Yep.
could tell he didn't really fit that crowd.
Totally.
And he would do his videos and the little turn and the way they would edit them was always terrible because it would start too early and end too late. No one knew how to just clip. Like it was just crazy. And it clearly became like that's just the way they do it because it wasn't just a one-off mistake, clearly.
Yeah.
That's what I would laugh about. But it didn't make me like hate that they were doing it. It just made me like, shake my head and be like, oh, whatever. Um, and then when they would get random celebrities that just did not fit in either, that was always kind of funny. Corey Feldman and like random stuff like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we're gonna miss it because if we're not getting any of that, I hope it's just not stale and we don't get anything whatsoever. Because I mean, even the original Funko page, I feel like has been super dryly. Like they don't post too much. They're not like promoting their stuff as much. It's like the and we love it, but it's the disc trackers and the Funko Finders of the world that are just going crazy on Funko stuff, and the Funko page itself is not doing anything. So it's like we don't have those lives anymore. Like there's so much stuff we
I
can get
mean,
back.
that's a good segue into one thing I wanted to bring up about the pop yourself for Deadpool and
Yeah.
Wolverine. So speaking of Funko's page, they have promoted this. I've gotten served ads, and whether
Oh,
it's on their
Pop Yourself
page,
for sure has been,
but for
yeah,
the
Yeah.
for the
promoted.
Deadpool specific, the two people that they have showing, they haven't seen a Marvel movie in their life. I'm just being honest. Like that's like another thing that drives me insane. It's just like you can't
Uh,
even get like authentic people. You could have found two people who love Marvel, who love Funko, who are in that game to have made this like image
yeah.
for you. It was just so cringe. I'm like, this is so bad. And then to top it all off, which I wanted to bring up because it really bothered me, was to get the pop yourself at home, which they pumped up. This is going to be an experience at home and at the con. At the con, you get exclusive items, but they also didn't mention it was, I didn't find it in the very tiny small print though. You got an action pack at home. So you ordered a normal pop yourself with the normal box, normal accessories, and everything. And then you had to pay an extra $20 to get a like the Deadpool or Wolverine parts to then get it shipped to you for you to rip the head off of the other pop yourself, which to me is just dumb, and then put it on the other one. And then if you wanted the cool box, you didn't get it. I don't understand why they didn't follow the exact same thing they did for the Dunkings one.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
it made me, everyone who listens and you guys know, I had the pop yourself high. If this is the future of it, like it pisses me off. The
Yeah.
Dunkings to me, I thought was brilliant. Why was this not the same way? Like, I don't know if you both agree.
I definitely agree. Even though I have a pop yourself or whatever, it was a gift, but I always wanted to get one. And then I thought about getting the Dunk Kings one because of the box. It was actually pretty cool. But then, after hearing you talk about it earlier, I was just like, what? That doesn't even make any sense. It's like, why would you even go for that? I mean, unless you're obviously there, but for at home, I guess that kind of goes like with the box of fun. Like you get at home stuff and then or you get the online and then you get the con, which kind of sucks because the whole point of the Deadpool and Wolverine was the box, the
Yeah.
theme of it. So I think yeah, I definitely agree. Like that kind of does suck, honestly. Like that's not fair. I mean, yes, maybe they could have changed the box color, like maybe have a different variant over there and then give us a plain white one. Have a different
Yeah,
ones
make it
just
look
like
different. Or just
yeah,
don't all
exactly.
like I wish then they just didn't offer it to people at home. To me, it was like a money grab, and they probably tricked some people. When they first went live, people were
Yeah.
bitching about it on social. They're like, I don't have an option to pick Deadpool. And they're like, no, you got
Yeah.
to build your entire thing. And then at the end, it's an extra $20.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
see how the influencers promote that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's already kind of done. They're not even talking about it anymore.
Mhm.
Because I mean, it was obviously for the movie, and it was just pushing like, hey, look, the
Yeah.
movie's
It
coming
was
out to be
brilliant.
massive. Let's come out with this little thing. But yeah, it should have just been a con exclusive thing. It was cool if you got to do it there. Or it should have just been like an add-on, like a thing that like you could just change your outfit and you could, like the Dunkings or whatever else you
Yeah.
want to do, which makes me believe they're not going to do this again. I don't think we're going to get other Marvel things. I don't think we're going to get
No,
stuff like I
agreed.
just think it's not. I think this was just literally the perfect timing with this movie and San Diego Comic-Con coming out. But even if the box, because the boxing obviously was sick, like the looking at the box there, even if the box was not going to be that, I mean, that's kind of lame. But even if that was the case, I think I would have been more okay with if it was just an add-on additional thing, or maybe added $5, like $20
Yeah.
extra just to get like that makes no sense. Like it's not like the pop itself is that price. Like you're paying the pop price for a pop yourself, which I think is what like $40 or something, or 30 bucks or
Yeah.
whatever.
30 and then like
30
eight
something
extra
dollars.
for the
Yeah.
case.
And then $20 just to have this other body that you can put on. Like that's just kind of crazy. And it's probably because it's a body. It should have just been one. Like you shouldn't
Yeah.
need the other mold if that was the point of why you were getting these. And yeah, it was just done really, really odd. I'm sure the people there probably loved it. Was it the same price for them too to
It
choose
actually
that
was.
option?
The only reason they never mentioned a price, but Top Hops put out a video of him making it, and I saw when he was checked out, it was $50.
Okay. So I
But
mean,
I mean, weirdly enough, I would have paid the $50 there because I mean, they're two of my favorite Marvel characters. Like I am like
yeah,
actually
you're getting a cool box, you're getting
exactly.
cool
It
like a
just looks cool. But yeah,
yeah, very, very, very weird and strange. But speaking of Marvel, let's
yep.
transition to this big topic that I think we'll probably end on because this is a big one. Of course, Marvel was at San Diego Comic-Con. Is this the first time they've done like the big Hall H thing in a while?
In a while, yeah, in a
Right?
few years they
Because
stopped
yeah, it was a
doing
few
it.
years that
Yeah,
they weren't doing it. So it was obviously a big deal because we're Marvel fans. We kind of know the state of where Marvel is in the MCU. Deadpool and Wolverine kind of really brought life back into like, Marvel and the fact that, the whole Disney taking over Fox now. So we knew that was going to kind of bring back cool characters that potentially we can, get in the MCU. But either way, they had some pretty cool announcements. They did Captain America, Brave and the Bold, which, they brought out Harrison Ford, which is really cool. He's pretty badass,
yeah.
which is so interesting because, like, obviously
Brave New
he's
World though, so Brave and the
Brave New
Bold,
World. What did I
DC.
say? Wow, Brave and the Bold. Wow. Mixing up. DC was there, though. Batman 2 is coming to in
No one cares.
2026. 2026. But no, Brave and what the fuck is it called again?
Brave. It's called Brave New World.
Brave New, why did I say Brave Man? Brave New World. Uh, and anyways, what I was saying is Harrison Ford like is obviously taking over for the late
Yeah, William Hurt.
what's his name? Willem, right? Who passed away, obviously who played that character. But it's like this is like perfect for Harrison Ford, and like he's such a
Yeah,
badass actor, so it's like so cool to have him be this, and obviously that he's gonna be Red Hulk. That's pretty sick. But what stole kind of everything was the whole Avengers announcement, right? Because we knew, I mean, I think
Yep.
we kind of talked about how like potentially there was going to be some kind of crossover thing or what's
yeah.
going to happen.
Which they leaked the
The
shit out of that, and it was fake.
Yeah, there was a bunch of leaked stuff, and it was clearly not really what it was. I don't want to put too much because it's kind of spoilerish.
Yep.
But Avengers, obviously, the last time we heard anything about Avengers, it was going to be Kang Dynasty. Clearly, everything happened with Jonathan Majors, who was a terrible person, and that just went downhill. But it was still potentially still going to be like Kang, and I was like, are they going to replace him? And then we just get hit with the bombshell that it's actually going to be Doomsday, which is his name, right?
Yep.
And then what happened, Charlie? Your boy.
Robert Downey Jr. is back in the MCU, baby. Let's go. I'm so pumped
Yeah,
for
Iron Man's
this.
back. Let's
Yeah,
go. Right?
I know
No?
Migs ain't
No?
liking this. Trey hasn't really given an opinion, but I know he still wants to watch Deadpool and Wolverine before he really gets back on that Marvel
Yeah.
train. But
Yeah.
like, I think this is brilliant for first off, the Rooster brothers are back who made the best
Yeah.
Marvel movies that had already been kind of rumored, and they came out on stage. They're basically getting full control over this, which I think was part of the reason that they came back. I even saw
Yeah.
today it's being produced by their production company, which has never
Yeah.
done that with Marvel Studios
And
before.
and the same writers
Yep,
of
same writers
the
from
the
Endgame,
Endgame and everything are doing
Infinity
this too.
War.
So
Yep.
it's
And dude, it was just amazing because on stage they had all people dressed up kind of as Doom's followers. And they're
yeah.
like, only one person can be Doom, the greatest actor in the world. And then like, Robert Downey Jr. I mean, there's no one loves him. Like his ego is just, yeah. And then he takes off that mask, and I wish I was there. Talk about FOMO, not Funko.
Yeah.
People just were like losing their minds. This had actually been a rumor, and a lot of people thought it was BS. I'm like, there's a lot of confusion out there. But for all you know, I think he's just playing a variant of him, but there's a lot of storylines within the comic. Like you got to be a comic nerd to like really know what's going on,
Yeah.
probably. But I'm super pumped about it.
I
And yeah, no go.
I'm super pumped too, dude. Like as soon as I saw the pictures, and I was like, "What? No way!" So I literally went through a rabbit hole, and I was watching everybody's like from different angles, even though it's the same.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god!" Imagine
Nikki's
like,
like, "What? You're watching that again?" I'm like, "Yes."
yes, I was literally watching it. And I'm like, "Oh my god!" And then I saw another angle. I'm like, "Oh shit!" And then I saw. I'm like, I was like, "Man, I wish I would have been there because of honestly, I other than Ninja Turtles, I have a pretty good sized Iron Man collection. A lot of people don't know that because obviously I'm known for Ninja Turtles, but I have a lot of Iron Man stuff, and anything Iron Man I'm pretty much gonna buy or I have or I'm going to get. And then like we talked about off camera, there was a specific pop that blew up in a matter of an hour, a few minutes after it
Insane.
leaked.
Yeah.
And I believe I have it. It's crazy how I literally probably got it for like $8 for like
Yeah.
clearance at a pop store. And now
No one
it's
wanted that Funko Pop.
nobody wanted it.
Mm.
And now it's just like a grail. It blows my mind. I'm super excited. Obviously, I still need to see Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm slacking on that. But that I'm super hyped for. And now seeing the new Captain America trailer, seeing Robert
Mhm.
Downey Jr. coming back, because honestly, that's why I watched it. Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. I'm super excited. I'm
Yeah.
finally hyped for Marvel again.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel's definitely getting us back to like the heyday when we were like super excited because it did go through a lull. Like they had a lot of shows and they didn't really pan out.
Yep.
Like some were had like good moments, but nothing was ever like, holy crap, that was like amazing beginning to end. And then even movie wise, you kind of got like a decent one. Like I know when Guardians came out, like it was cool, it was good. Then we got like a bad movie. It was like so
I
back and
still haven't
forth.
even watched the the Marvels.
Me
Oh, the
Which
neither.
Marvel,
like
yeah, Marvels I never watched. I didn't watch the
I don't even think I said
what was the one with
Quantumania.
Secret
what was the one with
Invasion, the
the one
show.
with Gore,
Oh, Thor
Love and
Love and
Thunder.
Thunder.
Thor Love
Don't
and
waste your time.
Thunder.
Oh,
I
Don't
don't think I
waste your
watched
time.
that. And
it's
then
upsetting that I'm even
and
saying
then what
stuff
you just
about this
said.
like tomorrow. The Secret Invasion.
Oh,
So
No,
I
Secret
didn't.
Invasion
snooze
show.
fest.
Oh, the Ant-Man Quantumania. Like I didn't even watch any of those. Like, and it's crazy because I would watch everything. I did not watch any of
Same.
those.
Same.
And Deadpool and Wolverine I had to watch. That was amazing, phenomenal for multiple reasons. I think like certain people will love it more than others. I can see why some people have a little bit of, it's not the best or whatever.
Yeah, as Trey would say, they're a bunch of jabronis. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But I
I
feel like,
actually, that's in my top five all-time Marvel movies, maybe even top three.
yeah,
That's
I
how
would
good
have to
that
kind
movie
of
is.
like really put it in the list, but it's definitely up there for me as well. Just pure entertainment. I mean, entertainment value alone was amazing. And I love Ryan Reynolds, but either way, like that's obviously building us into what's to come, right? And Fantastic Four, I'm excited for because that's another one that's gonna kind of be in this whole world. They're said to be in Doomsday as well. They're also going to be in Secret Wars, which is obviously going to be kind of the big ending of this uh, portion of the Avengers. And when the whole Robert Downey Jr. thing came, because obviously, like I had an initial thought, like I've changed a bit. I'm gonna be honest, but I'm gonna tell you why. But my initial thought, I've always been super against when like actors like do multiple things, even when they cross from like DC to Marvel or Marvel to DC. Like,
Yep.
doesn't mean I hate it, but I'm always kind of like, really, like there's a billion people in the world. They can't find somebody else. Like there's definitely someone else that could have done it, right? But usually when something gets done, especially when it's the Russos and a bunch of these people, they know what they're doing, and like when it's done right, we forget that that was even an issue, right? And we love
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
to me, Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man, right? Like,
Yeah.
and to even go beyond that, he's the MCU. Like he started that there wouldn't have been an MCU without him, right? Yeah, let's be real.
Right.
No, he's gonna save it
And
again.
yeah, of course, but different
Yeah.
reasons, which I'll get into.
He's the
But
true Marvel genius.
yeah, seriously. I was gonna say something that has to do with Deadpool, and you know what I was gonna say, Charlie, but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say it. You'll know after you watch it. Um, I thought you were gonna say it, which is actually kind of funny.
Me too.
I actually saw spoilers by accident. I actually saw some spoilers, and I'm just
Well, there was something specifically that you almost said that he
Said
says in the movie. That's why I was kind of like, wow.
Marvel Gen. Was it the Marvel Genius
no,
or
Jesus.
Jesus?
Well,
Jesus,
Jesus,
Jesus.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
Jesus. You said genius, but it is Jesus, yeah. But anyway, so I kind of like was like, what? Like I didn't hate it, but I was kind of like, really? Because there was so many rumors of people that were potentially going to be Doom, and I always wanted Doom. And I was like, Doom's going to be amazing. It's going to be sick. I need to get him into this. I didn't care for Kang. Like I was like, I didn't want Kang. I want Doom to be something, right? And I think that's why I was kind of let down because like I had, potentially some people. I think Cillian Murphy was one that was like potentially one. Like people like that I was like that would have been pretty sick. Now, Robert Downey Jr. is probably going to murder this, obviously. And that's not what my doubt was. It wasn't that. It was just because his face was so big as being Iron Man that it was just going to be odd to see him be something completely different. But being the MCU, obviously there's so many timelines and multiverse and there's so many things. So like they're gonna, I'm sure I'm leaning in the route that he is gonna be like another
Yeah.
one from a different, so
Variant.
like variant version of Robert Downey Jr. essentially, but like being Doctor Doom. And I'm sure they'll make that be where we just completely forget and still enjoy it. Because now there's rumors, and this is where I got kind of on board. There's rumors that Spider-Man's going to be a very big piece of this, Tom Holland being in Doomsday, and having him
Yeah.
see Robert Downey Jr., who's like his papa, being the bad guy, like that's going to be pretty epic. I'm
It's
just
Oh
gonna
gonna
be
be
yeah.
real.
epic.
So
And
I'm sure it's gonna
supposedly,
be done the right way and whatever. But people were bashing it, and obviously it's probably just like I said, the initial thought of like, I mean, he's already this. Why can't you just get somebody else? Which I
Yeah.
understand,
yeah,
but
I agree with you with the Tom Holland stuff too, because also like we can't really get into this because of Trey, but I think I think Spider-Man's the anchor for 616
yeah,
as
yeah, that's
well.
what
And
they're
I do
saying.
think
Yeah,
that'll probably come into it. And then but also we could still get a Cillian Murphy Doctor Doom. That's like another thing. Like I think Robert Downey Jr. is going to be in those two Avenger movies, and that's it
okay.
as
Yeah.
his character. Because
Well,
that's it.
that I was gonna say that kind of puts me to the point where like a lot of people are being negative about, and I kind of agree with that. It almost does kind of seem like, I mean, maybe I'm not giving them enough credit to think that they're like, this is a many amazing storyline. He's a great actor. He totally fits into the Doom. We can make it a variant. We could do this. Versus that they probably initially were like, we're sucking. We need something big. This guy's dollar signs. Let's just bring him back. I think that was kind of more the motive, and then they decided to like figure it out. Maybe I'm wrong, but like
I
that's
mean
what a lot of
that.
people are kind of like hating on. And I
Yeah,
think that's probably
I think that's part of it, but I think it's easier to say that than I truly believe this is they were screwed because of Jonathan Majors,
Yeah.
yeah.
and they're scrambling what to do. The Russo brothers love Secret Wars. They've always wanted to be part of this. They definitely pitched this idea to Kevin. This is coming from the Russo brothers, in my
Oh yeah, for sure.
opinion. And
Yeah.
this was like, we're only doing this if Robert Downey Jr. is Doom. And then they were like, yeah, we need you back. Like
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sure Kevin
for
Feige
sure.
like basically begged. I heard that he didn't want them to come back at one point because he wanted no hard feelings, but like fresh blood to show like he didn't just need them. And now it's like, no, you got to come back because we need
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
There's old like interviews too that are funny though with Feige talking about Robert Downey Jr. being Doom.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
before being Iron Man. Like this, like
Yes.
he was always kind of thought to be like perfect for it, essentially. And I'm sure once he became Iron Man, they were kind of like, well, he's Iron Man. But then they brought it back.
But
So yeah,
it's just insane though, because we are the collector chatter, but how Trey kind of said it before, how the FOMO for this Funko Pop now is insane. Like
Yeah.
this is like the comic line of Marvel never does really well. It's just normally the MCU pops. It's like no one wanted this. Now everyone's like, oh my God, I need to get it. Like I actually did look to get it right after it was announced and couldn't really find it anywhere. I mean, there was some on eBay, but then I should have gone and I knew this was gonna happen, but like some people have them like the average is like $200, which I find to be insane.
but so like, what's the
Yeah.
history behind that actual
So
character
so that character is actually a version of uh
of Iron
Victor
Man?
who becomes Iron Man.
Okay,
Yeah.
So it's not exactly what I think Robert Downey Jr.'s character most likely will be a spin take off of that part of one of the comics, but that
okay.
isn't actually like Tony Stark Funko Pop.
Mhm.
People are just like, oh, it looks like it, let's get it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it says Iron Man on it. Like it says,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
say like
Infamous Iron
Invincible,
Man.
infamous
yeah, Iron
Iron.
Man.
Yeah. So,
So
but it is funny that it's affecting that. And yeah, people are going crazy for that. I'm sure it'll go back down
it will,
eventually,
but I
but
got excited though. It shows that like the Funko like excitement can still be there when it's done
Yeah.
right. Like that's what I took from that, which is
I
exciting.
agree. I
yeah, back
definitely
back
agree.
in the heyday when a movie would come out, like a Funko Pop would go crazy when like
Yeah.
this person
I
came
rock it.
back. And now all of a sudden you're like, oh, they're gonna be in this movie? or just the thought that they were going to be in this movie, and everyone would go crazy buying the OG stuff. And like we used to crack up about that. We're like, why would you like? Why is that doing that? And then it kind of that stopped. Like in the last few
Totally.
years, it has not happened. So this was interesting to see it kind of again, like spike back up again. And even people that don't collect Funko, like Charlie said, a friend of ours was like interested in like, oh, well, like, can I get this?
Yeah.
Because it's
It's
like
wild.
cool or whatever. But yeah, but I mean, that's this obviously is a big deal. This is like the summer of 2026 is when Doomsday is coming out, so it's obviously far away.
Yeah.
Funko will probably come out with 50 pops next year, just because that's what they do with Avengers stuff now, like beforehand. Hopefully not, but I'm sure this will be something that people will be collecting, and it'll affect us in that side of things as
What
well.
Funko should be doing though is, and kind of said this in the short that I just released, they should be making a Robert Downey Jr. Funko Pop of him with that mask in the pre-order like they did with the Jason Kelsey. I'm just saying that right now.
Yeah, they
Because
should.
everyone would
That would be
want
cool.
that. That would be freaking
Yeah,
sick.
of course.
Now probably
That would
make it a
definitely
Hall
be.
H exclusive.
Just have him holding
That
the
top
mask.
pops will now be given out to everyone because they didn't actually give it out at
Yeah,
the
yeah. Here's a
the
Hall
con.
H Iron Man or Robert
Oh
Downey Jr.'s
man,
Doctor
imagine.
Doom.
That'd be crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, it's exciting though. It kind of gets us thinking of like, Marvel is back, and I think what is Fantastic Four actually next
The Captain America
for
is.
them? Oh, Captain America. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hyped for that. Any of them. So very excited to see what's to come. Trey definitely gotta go watch Deadpool Wolverine.
I know.
So we
This
can
week.
talk.
This week.
Yeah,
This
nice.
week.
Yeah, I want to see it again. It was great. But I think that's it. I don't know if there's anything else
No,
you guys think of. That was
that
like
is
the
the main
big stuff.
stuff.
Definitely
Yeah.
want to talk about that.
And let us know in the
Um,
comments if you enjoy us talking about Marvel. Because I was just thinking maybe once Trey does see Deadpool and Wolverine, we should do an episode where we rank the MCU. I think that would be
yeah,
kind of fun.
yeah, we could do
Just
that.
change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Give our
And we
rankings.
can even say our favorite Funko Pop from the movies, from the movie that we're talking about.
I'm sure it doesn't have to be related to Funko. We got people out there that listen that are
No,
just
I know. But
fans.
so let us know if you would like to see something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Comment down below anything that we talked about. What do you guys think about, the Fun Day stuff, obviously, that we talked about before, and Mike, and is anyone going to come and take over that? Or, are you excited for your boxes? Did you get any of the at-home ones yet? Once we do get them, we're gonna rip them open, maybe on a live. I think that's probably what we're gonna want to do. So we'll let you know ahead of time once we all get the boxes. Um, you, what's Nikki's box? She got a box, right? Oh no, she didn't. That's
She
the box you're
got
getting.
my
Yeah.
box,
I
yeah.
forgot you only got
As
one.
she
Damn
would
it.
like to say, you didn't get a box.
Yeah,
So,
damn. Yeah. So
yeah,
you're one
She's gonna have to open
box.
it
I
up.
got
She's gonna have
two.
to open it up for you on the
yeah,
channel.
she will.
Jeez. Oh yeah, we'll open it up together, kind of show off what we got. Obviously, I'm sure we'll probably know the potential boxes we can get because obviously the online is
Yeah.
all over that with everyone's posting them. But I'm excited to see what that is. We'll open it up. Let us know your thoughts about Marvel, Robert Downey Jr. Are you excited that he's going to be Doctor Doom? And like Charlie said, yeah, we could talk about that kind of stuff if you want in the future as well, because we're big fans of stuff like that. Let's talk about Marvel. We can even talk about DC. I know there's a lot of haters in here in DC, but we could talk about it. Anything else, you guys let us know you guys want to hear. Definitely like the video. Appreciate it. Subscribe as well. Charlie, let everybody know where to follow us on social platforms.
Yes. So you can find us obviously at Collector Chatter, then at Collector_Charlie, at Pop_Migs, and at STX_Collectibles. Obviously, if you're watching us right now on YouTube, like Mig said, please like this video, comment, share it, hit the notification bell so you know when new videos come out. We've kind of put our money where our mouth is. We've been coming out with shorts like basically every day. So there's tons of content when they're on a new episode of the podcast. And we're really enjoying people interacting with those. We're really trying to grow this channel. And yeah, like in the comments too, just let us know other things you want us to talk about. We talk about other collectibles as we all know, but like let us know if there's anything else that we should do. And I'll try if you want to add anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna feed off of that. Definitely let us know what you want to see. You want to see more lives. You want to see us talk about other things other than Funko. Obviously, there's other things, Mischief Toys, NECA figures, Kid Robot, Bear Bricks. There's so many other things other than just Funko that we can talk about that's all somehow related because of Marvel, Ninja Turtle stuff, DC, everything's related somehow, some way. Let us know. Definitely
Baseball
subscribe.
cards.
Baseball cards,
Dude, I'm pulling cards all the time.
Lorcana, anything you want, let us know. It's definitely appreciated, and maybe we'll do it. More likely, we will
Yeah.
do it.
We will
Yeah,
do
we gotta get the cards going. Trey, you're gonna have to get some UFC cards, some WWE cards. They make them, so
We
trust me.
need to find something that we all will enjoy and get cards and rip. I think that would be a fun live. But
Yeah,
that live is definitely
I
coming.
actually have vintage.
What
I
do you
have
got?
vintage Ninja Turtle cards somewhere packed up
Oh,
here.
nice,
Oh, you got to rip those open.
nice.
Yep. As soon as I find them, I'll let y'all know, and then we'll figure something out. Let us know if you want to see that too.
Yeah, let us know. And it's like, I mean, we kind of just said we are next week doing a live. I'm saying that right now. We are if we get those boxes. So come get
Yeah,
ready to see us rip those open. But yeah, once again, make sure you like this video, hit the notification bell so you know videos coming out, and comment. Until next time, collecting is the way. Later, everyone.